The STEM Society.
What's happening, people? My name is Carl Jackson. This is the STEM Society. Welcome back. Episode 142 is live. Thank you for joining me. Now, if you like what I do, because what I do is not very easy, I give you guys commentary on hip-hop news. I give you guys some album reviews, which is coming up this week. And I also give you guys some commentary on what's happening in the music world. All of those things happen on this channel, and it happens right here on the STEM Society. So if you enjoy that kind of content, please give me a thumbs up, give me a subscription, and make sure you get down in the comments and let people know how you're feeling about what I'm talking about. It helps the channel grow, and I would really appreciate it. So this week, outside of J. Cole dropping the Fall Off, we had a couple of things happen this week that I want to get into. I guess I want to start with the Jay-Z stuff. If you haven't seen it, which I'm pretty sure all of you have, Jay-Z's name has been connected to Epstein's Island. Now, there were some documents from the Department of Justice that came out with Jay-Z's name all over them. A lot of people feel the type of way about his name popping up with Epstein files, Weinstein, so on and so forth, again, with the accusations. And then I did see this video from academics, which kind of talks about how we protect Jay.
One thing that I think no one wants to talk about, which I think is very hypocritical of all the music, media, or cultural commentators or podcasters, is that you don't have to instantly defend Jay-Z. People have questions, and you should help clarify the questions, especially if you either know him or you've been around. Here's a few questions. Did Jay-Z sleep with an underage Foxy Brown? Is there something we're missing there? Did he sleep with underage Aaliyah? Did he meet Beyonce? These conversations about, listen, I'm on Fortnite trolling a kid. They said I groomed. I'm not fucking boys. Jay-Z ended up fucking some of these people. And there's multiple pictures of him and them underage, right? We all know with the Tiger thing. Come on. How can't we have like some type of, conversation about that? I think these days, right? Like, I heard my man Joe Budden when, that's how Drake wrote up that long ass thing saying, I own a 737 and you own a modest house in New Jersey. The reason why he wrote it up, Drake was upset that Joe Budden was alluding to possible creepiness, not necessarily pedophilic, but creepiness in terms of Drake having some affinity for young women. Well, could that be the same thing said about Jay-Z? Not only Jay-Z's, Russell Simmons, and a lot of them, but it feels like there's a protective, group that don't want to talk about that for those artists in that time. If it was an artist in this time, it would definitely get scrutinized more, right?
So after doing a little bit of due diligence, I just wanted to look for myself and see if this stuff was real. Now, I went on a lot of different news outlets just to see if these files were correct. And the same thing kept popping up. The drop features files of varying credibility due to the Epstein Files Transparency Act. This includes crisis intake reports stemming from anonymous tips, which is where Jay-Z's name popped up. The allegations are unverified, and the report does not suggest that there's an investigation that was pursued. After reading that, no harm, no foul, right? Everything is cool. Jay-Z is being accused wrongly yet again, just like the whole situation with the Me Too stuff with Diddy. But I do think academics has a point. I hate saying that because that doesn't make a lot of sense coming from me, but we don't cover Jay-Z like that. Like, hip-hop media is afraid of Jay-Z. And when I go back and look at different hip-hop talking heads that talk about the story but don't talk about the story, and I know academics brought up Joe Budden podcast, which is the biggest podcast in the world, but they don't touch them stories at all. Like, Joe makes sure he hops over anything that has something to do with Jay. I don't know a lot of hip-hop news outlets that actually cover Jay-Z like that. And it's crazy that academics was the one that brought that to my attention, but don't y'all find it kind of weird that nobody wants to touch these Jay-Z stories? Is it because he's that powerful, or is it because Jay is really a good guy? I mean, we've gotten so many different stories from so many different people, but some of the main culprits that have been coming at Jay, like Dame Dash and Nicki Minaj, are actually saying a lot of the same things. So my question to you guys on the other end is, should we start questioning things about Jay-Z more? Should we start going after stories for real and trying to see if we can figure out or unravel the mystery that is what is Jay-Z's past? Now, I personally don't want to believe that Jay-Z is somebody who's a predator, or I don't want to believe that Jay-Z is somebody who has preyed on young girls. But I've always been the type of person that has, my uncle used to tell me, when there's smoke, there's fire. Now, the credibility of these people who keep coming forward talking about this stuff, very, very shaky. Dame Dash has had a vendetta against Jay for a very long time. And Nicki Minaj, we already know what her deal is. But should we start covering this stuff more? Like, should we start asking more questions about Jay? Because I don't want it to end up like a Diddy situation. I don't want to see Jay-Z, who is one of my all-time favorite rappers, be exposed in the next 5 years as somebody who was a predator or somebody who was preying on these young people. You get what I'm saying? Again, as of right now, I truly believe that he's not that type of person. But I felt that way about Diddy sometimes. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's unfair to ask questions or question the types of things that keep popping up about these celebrities. And I'm not saying that we should get our torches out and start raiding his home. I'm just saying we should really start investigating a little bit more or digging deeper into who he is. And I don't want to hear from Jaguar Wright or Nicki Minaj or Dame Dash. I want to hear from some legitimate hip-hop media talking heads talking about it. It's just one of those things where he is very protected. And again, I'm not saying he did any of these things. I'm just saying, man, it's a lot of people saying the same shit. I don't know if that's coincidence. I don't know if it's a situation where people has that bad of a vendetta against him, but damn, it's a lot of people doing it. It's a lot of people saying it and doing it. And this right here, it just makes you feel that much more uneasy. And then we started getting this video with him and Harvey Weinstein, which I thought was AI. I never thought they would be in the same place at the same time. If you haven't seen it, check this out.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration.
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Well, then, can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is
like that video didn't seem strange to y'all? And again, I'm not accusing him of anything. I never would do something like that because I don't have all the facts, or I'm not an investigative journalist, but some of this shit looks kind of weird, bro. And some of this shit looks like this nigga is entrapped in something. Now, a lot of people would just say, hey, man, rich people hang out with rich people. That's what you expect. But it's like, bruh, like some of the rich people you hanging out with ain't the rich people you need to be around because they are getting caught up in a lot of bullshit. So that was just my 2 cents about it, man. I thought it was preposterous at first when I seen Jay-Z's name pop up on this Epstein file stuff. And I was like, y'all niggas is bugging. Ain't no way that nigga part of that shit. But then when you start seeing things unravel, and you know the internet likes to play tricks on your head, sometimes you have to question this shit. And then you have to wonder why the major talking heads never question anything about Jay. Sometimes, man, you're just too rich and powerful to be in the spaces of being questioned, I guess. What do you guys think, man? Do you think that Jay-Z is too protected? Do you think that we love him so much as a rapper that we never take a chance on really actually digging deep into who he is? Let me know in the comments. Did you catch the Scarface video with TMZ? Scarface is GloRilla's sister in Memphis, and she has been on the internet mad because GloRilla won't help their family out. She's upset. This is what happened on the TMZ interview.
Your sister has an obligation to share the wealth.
Hell yeah, she got an obligation to share the wealth. We stay here, we struggle together. Took baths and bars of water, rest, roaches, all that. Yeah, she obligated. Is them friends obligated? She doing everything for them.
You're making it sound like there's a real financial hardship. Describe what you're talking about.
She's not doing nothing. Nothing. She's not doing nothing for family. At all. She do little oohs and ahs for our parents or whatever, but barely nothing, because my mama still clocking the clock at FedEx. No, she don't want to work. Gloria got y'all believing this fake-ass, imaginary-ass thing where she retired them. No, she did not. My dad retired because his time was up.
Why does she owe it to you to support you and to support the family beyond what she wants to do? It's her money, right?
Because don't go on no interviews, talk about our struggle. You want to do that. That's not right. You don't sit here and talk about struggles, sit here and struggle with. It's not one sibling, you got 9 other siblings. She get her money just because she got plenty other in Memphis she getting money to. I got 2 siblings staying down there in Atlanta with her that she treat them like housemaids.
This has been on my timeline for the whole week, and I just gotta be real with you. Get a job, Grouch. Get a job, Grouch. You're only obligated to help your parents. I have always looked at it as when I finally get to where I need to be at, the only person that I'm looking out for is my parents and my granny if she's still alive at that point. Everybody else, sorry, that ain't how that works. And it's not that I don't want to help these people or people who are like immediate family, but there's people pop up and they're your cousins as soon as you get the money, bruh. And who says that GloRilla has that kind of money to take care of her whole family? She ain't been famous but this long. She hasn't been famous that long, bruh. And there's no money in music for real. Uh-oh, I just spilled the beans. There's no money in music. Why does she think GloRilla has all of this money all of a sudden? Why do you think that GloRilla is super rich? And if you thought she wasn't helping you then, guess what? She ain't finna help you now. You just killed everything. Now, Scarface has been saying that the whole thing about retiring her dad is fake. She's also said, and you've seen it in the interview, she also said that their mom is still working at FedEx. Now, if you ask me, some mamas, especially mothers in the South, because I'm from Alabama, so we neighbors. My mom always told me if I ever hit it rich, she was never gonna quit her job. That's what she told me. She was like, I don't care how much money you make. I ain't never gonna quit my job. I'm good. I'm gonna keep working because you never know when you might fall down and lose it all. Southern mothers are a little bit different from everybody else. Now, I don't know what GloRilla's mom does for FedEx, but it might be important. Who the fuck knows? All I know is my mom has told me the same exact thing. Hey, you can buy me a fancy house, you can buy me a nice car, you can do all that stuff, but I ain't never leaving this job. What do you say to that? How do you force somebody who is the matriarch of the family to leave somewhere that they love? So it's just one of them things where it's just like, bro, that's just, nigga, now you just gross. Now you out here just being nasty by sitting up here talking bad about your sister. And then the funniest part of the whole interview, this is what Scarface said at the end of the interview.
Let's say she has $2 million. How much of that does she owe to you and the rest of the family of that $2 million?
She can get all of her like $2,500 a piece.
How much?
$2,500.
25, like how for? That's it, just 2,500 flat, or is that a?
$2,500 flat.
I think she would jump at that.
I think if that's all you want, I think Glo might jump at that.
At my school, we used to have something called the Rainbow Room, where a lot of the kids who are not with the rest of the class used to go and learn over there. So you could tell what room Scarface was in. Get this girl off my screen, bruh. Get this girl off my screen and out of my life. I'm so tired of seeing her face and her grill on my timeline. You as a person who makes the money, who gets to a point where you're successful, you are the one who was supposed to determine whether you can help these people from your family or not. And whoever you want to help, that's great. Anybody outside of your mom, your dad, or your granny, you ain't obligated to help nobody. I'm sorry that she feels that way, and I hope she gets her $2,500, but you're not obligated to help anybody if you don't want to. That's the choice that you make. Now, after you make that decision, how you live after you make that decision, that's on you. That's the cross you got to bear. But at the end of the day, bro, you don't have to give anybody anything you don't want to. I think this is the most disgusting, selfish thing I've ever seen out of somebody who didn't have the talent enough to get up there and make it. Didn't want to get out of her comfort zone to be able to start rapping or doing whatever she had to do. It's fucked up, and I just don't think it's right. So, Scarface, if you don't sit down and shut up and lead us. If go and help your sister, go be security for your sister or something. Go do that. Find something else to do besides getting on the internet and complaining and looking like a big ass loser, bro. You look. We don't call people enough people losers these days. You look like a loser out here doing some bullshit, bro. Get that shit out of my face, man. Before we get out of here, I gotta touch on this because I'm so sick of this shit. T.I. was on Club Shay Shay or Nightcap or whatever Shannon Sharp show is out these days, and he's still calling out 50 Cent.
Road to go, and then goddamn, when I was talking to Swiss, you know, I was like, shit, man, yeah, I'd do it, but you know, really, the motherfucker that really would be the one, it ain't gonna happen. But if Gucci, Young and Gucci, that the one. And then he hit me back. He was like, shit, Tip, don't even trip. I think we gonna get Gucci to do it. I said, well, you don't need me then. But that's the one.
Hold up,
you know what I mean?
But didn't Jeezy and Gucci already?
No, they were before it happened.
Oh, okay, before it happened.
Before it happened, they were talking to me.
Okay. But I'm saying, so right now.
And then I called my man. I said who I wanted.
You want Weezy?
Nah, I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though.
Oh, Lord.
I called my man. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke. It's cool. So now
T.I. has been calling out 50 Cent since 2021. And 50 has been doing the same thing ever since the first time T.I. called him out. Called that man a snitch, laugh at him on the internet, and continue to go about his way making millions and millions of dollars. Let me tell you guys something right now. And now this is about as real as I'm going to get with y'all. Don't nobody want to see T.I. versus 50 Cent. Nobody wants to see that. That is a bad matchup. I'm sorry. I don't know why T.I. keeps going at 50, thinking 50 the one he's supposed to be going after. Now, I will say this. If we got a T.I. versus Wayne, let's do it. Let's do it. Line them up. Roll the ball out on the court and let's see who's going to win that one. And a lot of people would be like, nah, man, Wayne got him off rip. If you can't use Wayne's mixtape catalog, which I think they probably would eliminate, we got a battle. We got a real battle on our hands. I'm tired of T.I. trying to go at the New York scene and all this other stuff. You are the king of the South. That's what you proclaim. You proclaim you are the king of the South. And Wayne kind of stepped back and let you say that all the time. You should go after Wayne. Now, I think he mentioned it in the clip about him and Wayne, and that would be a good matchup. Why don't you just cut your losses with 50 Cent and go after Wayne and see if you can beat Wayne? And I'm talking about mainstream only. No mixtapes. Mainstream albums only between T.I. and Lil Wayne, and then we'll have a fight. I would love to be able to sit down and watch T.I. versus Wayne, mainstream albums only, and features. That's it. I would love to watch that. I think that would be a way more interesting battle than 50 Cent. And we all know 50 Cent is not going to get into this battle shit. He making money, bro. He doing TV. He's selling vodka, or what is it? He's not vodka. He's selling cognac. He's selling these alcohols and shit. He ain't got time to be dealing with no fucking verses. He makes 10 times that money while he sleep. Let's go with Wayne. And it would be interesting because I think Wayne will be up for it too. I think Wayne would want to he got something to prove, especially after the tweet that he put out this week about the Grammy nods. Wayne needs a win. He needs a win bad. And what better way to catch a win than sit down with somebody who claimed to be the king of the South while y'all was in y'all's prime. I don't know about y'all, but I would love to sit down and watch T.I. versus Lil Wayne in a Battle of the King of the South versus. I would actually tune in for something like that because those are two of my favorite Southern rappers. I think that would work a whole lot more than T.I. continuously going after 50 for something that he honestly wouldn't be able to win. I think 50 would kill that nigga. Personal preference, but I just think 50 has way more hits, and I think 50 would do way more in that battle against T.I. But you tell me what you think. Would you rather see T.I. versus 50, or would you rather see T.I. versus Lil Wayne? You already know my opinion about it. You know where I'm leaning at. I want to hear what you want to see in the comments. I don't have nothing else for you guys. I'm done for today. Be on the lookout for my fall-off review coming out later on this week. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode. I appreciate you, man. Take care of yourselves. I love you. Peace out.
She is kind of fucking with my money, but I meant everything I said, and I say it again.